Hi YouTube, Muchísimo Eugene. Welcome to another video from Exit Strategy. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. I'd appreciate it. What it really means when a narcissist says, "Stop by my work and see me." Now, this video, the world has about 300 million people, I believe. Who knows? The world got a whole bunch of people in it, and a whole bunch of people know about narcissistic personality disorder. A lot of people know about going to work to see your significant other, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife. This seemingly is a normal thing. For one reason or another, you may share a car, and you may not. You may just have this person wants to see you because they are missing you. They want to know if you're able to stop by and see them. Matter of fact, they're requesting it, and it makes you feel like, wow, that's my significant other. I'm going to do that. Doesn't matter what I got going on. I'm going to take a few minutes just because they thought enough for me to come by, to ask me to stop by their job, their workplace, and pretty much show the world or show us off in a real way, just for one reason or another, just to let that person know I miss you. That is normal. That is healthy. Missing someone. When you're away from people and you can't hardly wait to see them again, it's a beautiful thing. Whether it's your kids, mother, father, sister, brother, whatever, friend. So, but the narcissist though, you know they don't care about you, right? Okay. Yeah, just making sure. When they ask you, "Can you stop by my job? Stop by my job and see me. Hey, can you come through, pull up?" Whatever they say to you. I think back in maybe two at least relationships, maybe more, I don't know. All of this stuff with these idiocies or these idiotic personality disorder individuals, it becomes a fog. And when these thoughts come to us, we share them on YouTube, and that's what I'm here to do. What that really means when a narcissist tells you, "Stop by my job and see me," they're trying to show you off. They're showing you off in a way that's not beneficial to you. They're gaslighting you in front of their employees when you show up. They're inciting a hostility in you that you didn't even know that they were setting you up to inciting you. Because what you don't understand, they've either begun to smear, and more than likely, they have begun the smear campaign. When they meet you, times are good, everything is golden in a relationship. The narcissist doesn't need a good reason to smear you. Understand what I just said. There is no good reason they need to smear you. Because when you meet them, when the relationships is even good, it bothers the narcissist because they get very antsy. It is not something, it makes them nervous because they're dealing with abandonment issues. And this is something I believe even awakened empaths sort of miss because we don't readily see it. In your mind, you're thinking the relationship is good. There's no problems. I don't even know why there should be a problem. They wouldn't talk bad about me to their friends. Well, let's go back to the DNA of the narcissist. They do talk bad to you about your friend, to your friends about you. This is a part of the leveraging tactic because they're going to need this to help them out later when they discard you. If that makes sense. It is a very, very well-oiled machine, but it always works in the same sequences most often. Now, They want you to stop by their job because they want to show you off like the new little pet, like the new little toy. They want to show you off in a very superficial way that benefits them, that makes them look good. Or, like I said before, they want to show you off, put you on grand stage, and what they've done, they've smeared you, and they're making the co-workers and all of the people who are observing you show up and pull up to that job. They have already either told them that you are down low stalking them, that you are insecure, that you are jealous, that you seem to have jealousy issues. They are loading people up with all of these things that are very much not true, because they've gauged the type of individual you are, because they have made themselves they have behaved in the entry level like a child that you have to babysit constantly. Well, why does it take you an hour to go get bananas at the grocery store? You are questioning these things that begin not to make sense. And because you question them, they can't say reasonably, oh, I forgot I had a few more other things to do. I should have called you. That's how normal people interact. They will say like, wow, you sure are acting like the last guy or the last girl I dated. You know, I can't be gone for 2 hours. So this is dismissive behavior. When they've told you before, I just got to stop and I'm going to the store and grab some bananas because I want to make banana pudding. Now, 2 hours later, you just want to understand, were you okay? Was there a problem? You know, I didn't know. I'm sitting here just like not knowing what was happening. So I essentially stopped what I was doing and wait by the phone in case there was something amiss. So this is how they leverage that excuse and excuse that away when you first meet them. So what that begins to do is they are temperature checking you by going out on a 15-minute excursion and staying 2-3 hours with no explanation. Nor do you have to ask them for an explanation. Healthy people will willingly give you information. And some of the narcissists do. But when they give you a half-hearted excuse, it really doesn't make any sense. But again, in the initial stage of the relationship, you don't press. But these things become more and more apparent. They become more and more of a pattern. So when you do ask, this is what happens. They have began, if they hadn't already, they began the smear campaign because they need to leverage this ideology or this narrative that you are the insecure one. Now, going back to the job, you show up, people thinking, wow, he is insecure, she is insecure, she is down low stalking. That's kind of what Machismo said the other day. He was telling me. In their mind, they're thinking this because they've already been loaded up with all these lies. And so what this means when the narcissist tells you, come by my job and see me, you got these butterflies. You're feeling like this is a real wholesome relationship, man. This person misses me. And it's nothing of the sort. They don't miss you. They need you to play your position. Because when this story ends, you are going to be the villain and they're going to be the victim. They will, I can remember, and I'm drawing off of a real life experience. I'll kind of indulge in it a little bit. I was, and this is the German girl I always talk about. There's so many layers to things that I went through with her that I will probably share in the near future as they, come to mind. And she worked at a pharmacy, she worked at a medical institution, but she worked in the pharmacy department. And as you go into this medical industry or whatever, there was the pharmacy right there. The pharmacy is no longer there in that entry that it used to be. And so she was working there when I met her. I think she had that job and she was working at a store, a retail store. And so she would ask me, can you come see me? And me, sometimes often my twins would go, and they were little. We would go in, and my light went off, guys. 1 second. I don't know if that matters, but it's got a short in it, so it will do without the light. And so they would accompany me sometime, and you know, kids are kids. They would be a little bubbly, excited, whatever, whatnot, just kids. So we'd go in, they would go ahead of me, probably 10 steps ahead of me, and I would look in their direction, the German girl, and she would do something like this, exactly like that, like what are you doing showing up here? And in essence, this was part of the narrative. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know that I was being set up to look like the stalker. Now, this institution in which she worked, it's not even 5-minute drive from my house. So, before I began to date her, I probably had never went to, well, yeah, I did, because I have a doctor friend who's now retired. I used to go there quite frequently to see him, because I did his grounds, landscaping and whatnot, and I would go by there just to see him and talk with him, because we became great friends. He was a surgeon. And so in Empath, we actually draw a lot of good friends in our circle when we look back, and people in high positions, people in low positions, regular everyday people, doctors, surgeons, lawyers, even some of us have befriended celebrities. It's amazing how Empath can draw diverse types of friends. So if you relate, comment. And so I walk in, and she's like, what are you doing here? You kind of surprised me. And that was nothing of the sort. She actually texted me to ask me if I could stop by. And me being busy as I was then as I am now, and you know, doing my thing out on outdoors, and I was like, okay, I'll stop by for a little while. I got a whole bunch of stuff going on. And so I would do that. And so I had a funny feeling. I was like, didn't call her on that. I was like, but now looking back, I'm like, that was a weird look. So I dismissed it. And so she would come out, and right away she would go to the children. And this was an all to make her look like she was this caring individual. And here I am standing there, and her coworkers, they had became friends with me, and they would always like, hey, how are you doing? And I would say, hey, how are you guys doing? And I would make small talk with them while the German girl would be over there doing her thing with the kids. And so she'd come around and kind of give me small talk after the fact. And I would be like, you know, hey, what are you up to? Stop by like you asked me to. And she would just say nothing, just very bland statements that really didn't connect any kind of way. And now I know why, because they have no conversation. And so I would spend like maybe 5 minutes or less talking to them. And I would ask them, do you want some lunch? And many times I would probably bring them a coffee or a sandwich. And so I would do this out of a heartfelt motivation, because they asked me to come by and see them. And I thought that was a small gesture, not knowing that this individual was setting me up to look like the villain, like a stalker, like an insecure, overbearing boyfriend. Like I got time to stalk you with kids, in which at that time I was fighting for more custody of them. So I got my plate full, and I'm taking on a relationship. And that's another thing, guys, you can relate to probably. You were not done with one ordeal, and here we are getting ourselves involved with another relationship that somehow just fell out of the air. And most of you wasn't even looking for another relationship. And this is how it happened with me most of the time. Individuals drawn to me, they shoot their little lame ass shot to me. I fall for it, hook, line, and sinker. Then after a short period of time, I begin, and it's always after a short period of time, I begin to speak to the matters that don't consistently add up or line up with who they were when I met them. Because with a narcissist, they can't hold their consistency past the first or second date or interaction. We miss it, we dismiss it, and we allow it to grow, and the fire begins to get larger. And I hope I'm helping somebody on this video, like Dave from Narcology Unscripted says. Because this is serious, this is subtle, and this is sadistic. It's never going to get any better. It's getting pervasively worse. Our society is driven and ran by narcissists. If you get that one fact there, you will never look and expect most people to treat you the way you treat them. You will already go in with the mindset that this could be a loaded grenade, this individual. So I need to proceed with caution until I get further information, further intuition, further perception of who this person really is. You owe that to yourself. You owe that to yourself, those of you who not only are single, investing in a new relationship, but in fact, more so like myself, if you're going from one relationship and you're considering getting into a new, fresh relationship, if you have children who are of a young age like I do, or any age, they are they are someone you need to consider as well in the whole idea of getting involved with somebody, because at the end of the day, they will actually be consumed by this person too. They will be impressed, they're impressionable. They will be affected by this person that you choose to get involved with as well, in some way or another, whether it's small or large. With the case of the girl I married, the third wife, my children were drastically affected by this person's presence. And I've made it known to them how I need them to be how I need them to be my observers going forward. I want them to be able to observe Daddy as he engages with other people. I want them to be my eyes, my eyes in the back of my head. And encourage your children to do that, because they can see some things that you may not even give them credit for. Just give them the opportunity and give them the green light that, hey, baby, I need you. If this is something that doesn't feel right to you, I want you to speak to Daddy. And that's what I do. So if I think it's something that's going to be worthwhile, or I'm thinking about getting involved with this person, I do want my children to actually give their consent to it. And I think you should too. So back to what I'm saying, this is what it really means when a narcissist says, can you stop by my work to see me? So there's many other things that they are doing, but for the most part, predominantly what they're doing is one or two things for sure. They are either smearing you, which they've already began that, and they need the smearing to line up with the narrative, or they just want to show you off to make themselves look good. They don't want you to stop by their job for the reasons you think, because they believe they miss you. You believe they miss you, and this is just healthy situation of sorts that they just want some bonding time with you. They could care less about bonding with you. They can't bond. And so I think I've captured that in this video as much as I would like. So that being said, bless.